La 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 la. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים. La 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 la. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד.
Welcome to the Yom Kippur evening of the high holidays. During Rosh Hashanah, we sought to leave behind attitudes and behaviors that no longer served us. On Yom Kippur, we acknowledge the right of individuals to shape their own lives. We ask for human forgiveness, forgiving others and ourselves, and take responsibility for our own self-improvement. Kol Nidre is an invitation to share, to be open, and to prepare ourselves for renewal. The haunting music, coupled with the atmosphere of the night and a communal bond, has the power to move us to deep reflection. We seek genuine forgiveness for the past and contemplate practical ways to reach our highest ideals.
Our desire at this season is to renew our lives, to go forward into the new year, stronger, wiser, and kinder than we were before. Our bond is the kinship of shared humanity and our engagement with Judaism and humanism, the history, traditions, and future of our people. May our time together bring us comfort and an increased sense of connections with friends, loved ones, and the people of the world.
This is the Day of Atonement. Jews everywhere are gathering to pause and reflect, to remember and reconsider, to plan and to hope for the new year just begun. This is the time to forgive. Look at the word atonement in a new way, and you will see that it is made up of the words at one meant. To be at one, or to be in harmony, is an idea going back to at least the late 13th century. Only humans can forgive. Only humans can move from a state of separateness to a state of at one-ment.
We strive to be at one with our values and ideals. It is time to accept those values and to incorporate them into our lives.
Kol Nidre is not a prayer, but a chant. It is concerned with the importance of vows, oaths, and the promises of human behavior.
Kol Nidre, chant of ages. Here we stand, heirs of the past and creators of the future. Let us open our eyes to wisdom with a new heart, a new spirit, and a new resolve. As we listen to Kol Nidre, let its sounds reach to the center of our beings.
Kol Nidre vesoreh v'charomeh v'chonameh v'chinuyeh v'chinuseh u'shvus. Telin v'tolin. Nidrono lo nidre. Usho sono le Shavuos.
Jewish tradition has established that unfulfilled promises to other people require forgiveness from those wronged. This is the basis of the Jewish view of Yom Kippur. Human interaction is the highest form of relationship, and it is only at this level that true forgiveness and rebuilding can be undertaken.
At this most solemn time in the Jewish calendar, we have assembled to listen to the beautiful Kol Nidre. The words, ever locked in the past and still recited in original Aramaic, are barely understood, even to modern scholars. The purpose of the chant and to whom it was addressed remains a mystery. The enduring melody and feeling of expectation, hope, and release cannot be denied.
Kol Nidre is included in our modern Yom Kippur gathering because it recalls history and forges links to the past that are vital in Jewish life. It remains a critical part of the annual process of regeneration that we call Yom Kippur.
For Jews, the Kol Nidre is a powerful affirmation of our individual and collective will to define ourselves. It is a practical and honest recognition that our human limitations are and should be intertwined with empathy.
While we may have a modern philosophical outlook, we are not so different from those who came before. The underlying ideas of the Kol Nidre still possess significance for us today. We experience the sincere longings for a clear conscience, the release from feelings of guilt, the recognition that a promised word is unbreakable, and the desire to be released from vows that could not be carried out.
Most of us did not choose to be Jewish. We were born Jews. Some among us have chosen to be Jews. Together, we all belong to an ancient family whose story still unfolds in lands that we may never see. At this moment, distance and time collapse. We are at one with our people.
How many of us have fulfilled all that we have vowed? Who among us has not broken a heartfelt promise? Which one of us has not been hurt or wronged? And who has not hurt or wronged another? Now we hope for pardon and forgiveness.
To wait that justice might prevail one day, perhaps that was part of my blame, that I kept silent, did not speak, as though I had nothing to say.
I have seen violence scar the face of our planet. I have heard cries of hungry children, yet I did not speak.
I have seen poverty and diseases. I have witnessed the pain and suffering of others, yet I did not speak.
I have wanted to scream out in rage against injustice. I too have been in pain, yet I did not speak.
I have wanted to laugh with joy. I have wanted to share words of love, yet I did not speak. Yet there were times of outrage, pain, and joy when I did speak.
May I always have the courage to speak what must be spoken.
May we always have the courage to speak what must be spoken.
Forgiving and being reconciled to our adversaries or our loved ones is not about pretending that things are other than they are. It is not about patting one another on the back and turning an oblivious eye to the wrong. True reconciliation exposes the awfulness, the abuse, the hurt, the truth. It could even sometimes make things worse. It is a risky undertaking, but in the end, it is worthwhile, because in the end, only an honest confrontation with reality can bring real healing. Superficial reconciliation can only bring superficial healing.
Yom Kippur is a time of resolution and self-forgiveness. We will find a way to forgive ourselves for the wrongs of our yesterday, so that we may explore the promise of our tomorrows.
When we hear the sound of the ram's horn, we are reminded of the strength within each of us. May it also awaken our sense of love, well-being, and recognition. Let the shofar sound stir our inner sense of responsibility. Let our common thoughts unite us, and our memories of slavery impel us to help those who are still oppressed.
On this day, we acclaim the thousands of years of history that the Jews have shared. We observe an age-old tradition in a very new way. Long ago, this day was imbued with dread and foreboding. Modern tradition tempers that mood, and with the warmth and beauty that are also intrinsic to our history.
This is a day of remembrance as well as a day of renewal. This is a time for atonement and also a time for inner peace and hope. If this is the season to reflect on our worth as individuals, it is also appropriate at this season to reaffirm our belief that people, all people, matter. We cherish human existence. It is a gift that should never be squandered. May we share in the effort to create a world released from sorrow to joy. Those who dragged their chains shall dance and sing. May violence give way to goodness and the world be free of tyrants and hatred. We dream of global peace.
I seek peace. Let me be peace.
The Yom Kippur candles stand before us, as did the lamps of our foremothers and forefathers. We connect from their generation to our generation. As in times before us, we participate in this ritual and make our contribution to the traditions of the Jewish people. As the daylight disappears, we light these candles to bring light to this gathering.
Precious is the match. Precious is the match that is consumed in kindling the flame. Precious is the flame that burns in the secret fastness of the heart. Precious is the heart, strong enough to stop beating in dignity. Precious is the match that is consumed in kindling the flame.
Bahir Ha'or Ba'alam. Radiant is the light in the world. Bahir Ha'or Ba'adam. Radiant is the light in humanity. Bahir Ha'or Yom Kippur. Radiant is the light of Yom Kippur. Let us celebrate the light of the candles.
By lighting these candles, we celebrate the beauty of life, the power of truth, and the joy of connection. By lighting these candles, we proclaim our link to our Jewish heritage.
These candles burn for us. They reflect the hope in our hearts. May they light our way in the years to come. How wonderful is the light of the world. How wonderful is the light within each person. How wonderful is the light of peace. How wonderful are the lights of Yom Kippur.
On this Kol Nidre night, bound by the ongoing memories of our people, we stand united with the centuries. The world's light may seem diminished, yet the light of Judaism continually renews itself. We each may celebrate our Judaism in different ways, but we continue to be one family and experience our differences as part of a whole.
It is a good feeling being at one with the living world of nature. We feel at one with ourselves as we seek integrity of mind and body, purpose and action. We feel at one with family and friends, without whom our struggle would have little meaning. We feel at one with all humanity. Their basic needs and desires are also our own. Above all, we feel at one with a living people whose unique style gives us an identity. We are Jews. We choose to share that destiny with each other and millions beyond.
A healthy Jewish community allows for many degrees of participation and many expressions of identity. We do not see the future by reliving or being entrapped by the past. We view the future with a reminder of the past and a richness of new options and new energies.
There is a time for words, and there is a time for silence. There is a time for silence. A time to wander into your own world, seeking peace. We live at any moment with our total past. We hate with all our past hatreds. We love with all our past loves. Every sunset we have ever seen has formed our sense of the beautiful. Every bar of music we have listened to is included in our response to the melody, which now rings in our ears. That is why it is so important that we be cautious in what we make of each day. It will stay with us always.
We want to be strong enough to live with the truth. We want to be bold enough to speak it, even though others do not wish to hear it. Time will not allow us to return to the past, except in our dreams. It permits us only to step into the future. Yom Kippur is a time of truth.
We face the unknown with courage. We praise the early sages and the high ideals and moral values they handed down to us. Our bravery is our dignity. It feeds our strength.
If old laws no longer work, we will create new ones. If old ceremonies no longer fit, we will revise them. If old postures keep us from moving gracefully, we will find a new way to walk. Our ancestors created, so too can we. Yom Kippur is a time of renewal.
We cannot isolate ourselves from the rest of humanity. It is our obligation to respond meaningfully to life's challenges. Nothing can be more life-affirming than to commit to a more loving world. We must do this for ourselves and for the generations that follow. It will take courage, and courage requires hope. We shall reach for both courage and hope. is a voice within each one of us that is our harshest and most unrelenting critic, and at the same time our guide through life. The voice is our conscience. While it often serves to warn us against what is wrong, it can also lead us to what is right. This moral compass, sometimes confusing or contradictory, impels us as Jews to examine ourselves and take on the work of tikkun olam, working to fix a world that may seem broken and sad. We hope that in the coming year, we will make these choices wisely and with meaning.
Selach lanu, mechal lanu, kaper lanu. These are the sounds of our heritage. May I forgive others and myself. May I repair what I have broken.
We should not be ashamed to examine the innermost recesses of the heart and mind. Nothing should be concealed. For like our forebears, we must admit that we all have failed.
Let each of us review the decisions we made throughout this past year, ethically, morally, socially, and politically. As we weigh tomorrow's choices, let us not forget that the power of change is within us. We have acted wrongly, openly and secretly, with words or with thoughts, under duress or by choice, by hardening our hearts, by shirking responsibility, by speaking untruthfully, by disrespect and dishonesty. Let us be forgiving, find pardon, and achieve atonement.
We have distorted facts to fit our theories, denied responsibility for our own disasters, and turned away from the cry of poverty.
We have polluted the air and poisoned the waters and the land, and we have decided to wait for a younger generation to resolve it. This is an hour of admission and acceptance. May we forgive each other and ourselves for these mistakes as we strive to change. The responsibility to create a better self begins with nothing but our own selves.
Out beyond ideas of wrongdoing and right doing, there is a field. I will meet you there.
The past, present, and future are timelessly linked in the spinning circle of life. Our past was the seed that became the present. We can make it bloom in the future if we nurture it with love, respect, and understanding of this shared culture and heritage that we call life. Teshuvah, tzedakah, tefillah, tikkun olam.
Words have the power to both destroy and heal. When words are both true and kind, they can change our world. Words guide our actions, hand in hand with our dreams. 3 key words in the liturgies for Yom Kippur are central to our progress in the new year. They are Teshuvah, Tefillah, and Tzedakah. Teshuvah, repentance, actually means return. Teshuvah reminds us to connect with our highest ideals and renews our dedication to lofty ethics.
Tefillah traditionally means prayer, though it comes from a word that also means self-reflection. Tefillah directs us toward looking inward. Tzedakah usually signifies charity. A deeper meaning suggests striving to be the kind of human beings we want to be. Teshuvah, Tefillah, and Tzedakah. These are the cornerstones of the celebration of Yom Kippur. A return to our ideals, self-reflection, and the act of putting our ethics into action bring us to tikkun olam, improving the world. It focuses our attention on our human power to shape the future.
Yom Kippur is a time for reflection, self-evaluation, and self-correction. We have the power to change our lives. The starting place is always within. If I say I am, I can say I may become. I offer forgiveness to those who have hurt or wronged me. May those who I have hurt or harmed forgive and pardon me. And may I not willfully repeat the wrongs I have carried out in the past.
On this Day of Atonement, we look beyond our own concerns to a world full of turmoil. where many live desperate lives without hope of justice or kindness. Millions of people are chronically malnourished, millions live in poverty, millions are homeless, millions are jobless, and millions live with illness and no access to health care. Countless innocent people have died and are dying as a result of armed conflict. And the heartbreak of lives totally disrupted by natural disasters haunts our days. How will we respond as Jews?
We must rededicate ourselves to our principles and to putting our ethics into action. Let us use our individual and communal strengths to be compassionate. May we be generous in the support of good works.
Peace be with you wherever you go. Peace be with you whatever you do. Peace be with you till we meet again. Peace be with you, my friend. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom, Shalom. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom, Shalom. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom, Shalom. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom.
Yom Kippur is a day of memory. We offer a tribute to all who value Jewish identity and helped it to endure. We admire those who stood for justice and were the role models in the past.
We see the joy of the Jewish experience. We will not forget the brave, nor will we ignore the many Jews who lived in peace and prosperity. We will not forget the lands from which we were expelled, nor will we ever forget the safe places where we were offered shelter. We will not forget the aggressors who became our enemies, nor will we forget the strangers who became loyal friends.
Our history deserves more than sadness. It has also given us a legacy of laughter and happiness.
We recognize not only those who taught us how to cry, but also those who taught us how to laugh. If we carried burdens, we also danced.
Let us remember those we loved who brought joy into our lives. Memory is a precious possession. It captures the past and informs the present. The pleasures of happy moments are sharpened by vivid recollection. Loved ones linger on in the glory of their uniqueness. Their strong wills informed their lives and allowed them to forge paths of remarkable diversity. In fond remembrance, they find their immortality.
You are invited to read together and remember our loved ones.
We remember them at the rising of the sun and at its going down, at the blowing of the wind and in the chill of winter, at the opening of the buds and in the rebirth of spring. We remember them at the blueness of the skies and in the warmth of summer, at the rustling of the leaves and in the beauty of autumn, at the beginning of the year and when it ends. We remember them. As long as we live, they too will live, for they are now a part of us, as we remember them. When we are weary and in need of strength, when we are lost and sick at heart, when we have decisions that are difficult to make, we remember them. When we have joy we yearn to share, when we have achievements that are based on theirs. For as long as we live, they too will live, for they are now a part of us, as we remember them. Nit Gadal v'nit Gadash Baruch Ha'adam. May we be reawakened in the spirit of humanity. Zechir Tzadikim Livracha. May the memory of our loved ones nourish us forever.
The shofar sounds a beckoning call out of history. The shofar calls and we gather. In every corner of the world, throughout millennia past, the families of the people of Israel have gathered together for the celebration of the new year.
Together on this Yom Kippur, with new and longtime friends, with family and guests, united at this moment, we find comfort in our community.
While we partake today in the bounties of tradition, we also share the treasure of our personal experiences. We look for wisdom within ourselves. We call upon our knowledge, our abilities, and our own humanity as we look forward to the new year.
Tequila calls on all who hear to search their hearts. One long blast. Shavarim represents our sorrow for our wrongdoings. 3 short calls. Teruah calls on us to take a stand. 9 short notes. Tekiah Gadola represents an invitation to repentance and atonement. A single long blast.
May our time together have been well spent, and may come away renewed.